Is the sustainable agriculture specialist. There is, I guess that's a lot about organic farming, or is it something very different? Then there is the environmental engineer. Would you like to shed some light on these two roles too?
Okay. So the environmental engineer, for example, they work on projects that make a difference to the environment. So it could be a project that is a forestation project where it's a tree plantation, or it is about it could be about how to control pollution. So, for example, people who may have worked on the stubble burning, which is attributed to be happening in the areas around Delhi, because of which Delhi is very polluted. All those people working on alternatives and solutions for stubble burning would be environmental engineers. Uh, they could also be environmental engineers, could also be looking at waste management, could be looking at sustainable resource utilization, could be looking at any way in which the environment could be improved. So that is basically what an environmental engineer does. An engineer, the term engineer, like I said before, is to emphasize that it is about making things happen. It's not about just studying and submitting reports. It's about actually making a difference. That's what the engineering field results in. Otherwise, it's academic. So that's about an environmental engineer. A sustainable agriculture specialist, like you asked about the other role, they are the ones that promote practices that maximize environmental improvement. So, or they minimize the negative impact on the environment. These are practices that promote agriculture or that are used in the industry of agriculture. So a sustainable agriculture specialist would actually result in water conservation, in soil conservation, in more, in better and more rainfall, in predictable crop yield. All of those would be, in some ways, the KRAs of a sustainable agriculture specialist. So does that help, Vidya?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. It does help, and it does help me understand what an environmental engineer does, because I've always wondered, what is this specialization and why aren't there enough people doing this? Can you really engineer the environment? But when you say that it's actually environmental engineers who are looking at solutions for stubble burning, then it did ring a chord. I personally thought that possibly we are looking at agricultural specialists, but you help me understand it differently, and that helps. It'll be good if students start looking at environmental engineering and look at other streams of engineering that are related to the environment also for the future. Any other streams within engineering that you think will be, you know, far more aligned with sustainability apart from environmental engineering? How
I
about chemical
personally,
engineering?
chemical engineering for sure, textile engineering will be very aligned with sustainability, not only because textiles are close to the body, but also because the whole process of producing textiles and all the different forms of textiles, whether it's cotton or nylon or rayon and all of those are also very dangerous for the environment. Well, not all, but some of those are very dangerous for the environment. And finding the right alternatives, all of that is something that textile engineers will be very uh, they'll find it a great focus to work on. There will be architects. Architect will have a big play on sustainability because Our homes are places, and homes and offices, they are all in architected buildings. And these architected buildings have to be sustainable. They have to promote sustainability. So you already have uh, terms like smart buildings or green buildings. And these are not only, I mean, they've been around for at least the last 15, 20 years. So it's not something new. And architects specialize. There are architects who specialize in greening a building or greening a large venue. So they make sure that green practices or sustainable practices are brought in. So architecture is a very big field which will come in. Uh, Apart from that, of course, the design, the R&D, there's a whole on greening, where engineering will play a big role, because engineers are the ones who take the results of R&D to manifestation, to implementation, to the real world. So whether it's automotive engineering or it's textile engineering, it's architecture, which is design engineering, building engineering, uh, all of these are going to come. They're going to come and play into the environmental improvement area. So these are the ones that come top of mind. But frankly, I believe that every single role has a green component to it. Even somebody who's doing nothing but creating reports, producing reports, has a green component, and that green component is about how much paper is he using or how much paper is destroying. That itself, the physical aspect itself, is where it begins. Then, of course, inside, how much resource has he used, or how much travel was involved, how many miles did he travel to put that report together, and it'll mean all the air trips that he made to different cities over the last several months to put that report together. All of those will add up, and therefore every role actually has a way of promoting sustainability. If you actually be mindful of how you are impacting the environment. So that's my on the ground feeling.
It's beautiful and it's probably very true because at the end of the day, if instead of being takers, we are frugal while we are consuming and generous while we are giving, we wouldn't age also. Emotionally, also, we wouldn't age. And the planet also wouldn't age. So the whole point is to be very, very mindful of what is it that you're consuming and to be quite generous about what you're giving,
Correct.
because the more you give, the more the chances that you are fueling the circular scheme of things and the chain. Yeah. And yes, you use the word circular economy. I didn't want to use it because it's a technical term, but the truth is, can we become more contribution, bigger contributors in the chain rather than takers, which is the mindset I think that we really need to revisit, because through what is considered mainstream education and training, we've always said, are you getting more value for what you give, which is the exact reverse of what we need to do to become sustainable professionals and sustainable human beings. Yes, and I think that's what it is. It's your tagline again. Sustainability is to give more than you get. Great, Mukul. We will continue this series wherein we will talk a little bit more about specific qualifications and degrees that students could take on, and possibly even touch upon professionals who are looking at sustainable careers. And that would probably help a lot of students and people who don't know how to step into this field, who don't have the courage, who don't have the knowledge to reap the benefits from your experience. And the same thing that you're doing, which is that you're giving more than you're getting and you're sharing your experience. So everybody is able to also contribute. And
Thank you so much.
in that process, your skill council for green careers is actually going to benefit because that's the larger need. So I really wish you the very best and I look forward to our next session. And thank you so much for all you did. Thank you so much for our conversation, the technical parts of it, as well as the reflective and experiential parts of it, because careers is not just about degrees or getting a job. It's about who you inside are as a person and how you navigate. And that's very important to look at also. So thank you and look forward to meeting you again. Thank you, Mukul.
Thank you so much, Vidya. Thank you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Any others, like for instance, there, if you enjoyed this video, the Life Vidya series, and found it informative, do share, like, and subscribe to our channel for more updates. See you next time. Bye bye.